clients in China and it's 3 p.m. on their side of the world. But now I have boundaries and I have to have boundaries because there's more people in my life that I need to take care of too. But we focus on family, business, financial, spiritual, and personal. So when we're goal setting each and every year, we try to focus on those things so we're well balanced. So where do we want to invest in ourselves personally or business wise or financially? And having that also helps the business because you're connecting with like-minded people as well that know that you're in the business.
Welcome to Momentum in Real Estate, your guide to success in the dynamic world of real estate. I'm Cory.
And I'm Kristin James. Whether you're just starting out or a seasoned pro, we're here to help you reach new heights.
Success in real estate comes from learning, growing, and serving others.
Join us as we dive into strategies for lead generation, marketing, market trends, and client relationships.
Get ready to ignite your momentum and achieve your goals in real estate.
Let's dive in and unlock your full potential.
This is Momentum in Real Estate.
Well, today's guest is Gloria Johnpierre. Did I say your name right?
Yeah, Johnpierre.
Awesome. A real estate broker who believes real estate decisions are about far more than transactions. They're life, financial, and legacy choices. Known for her calm presence and strategic mindset, Gloria guides clients through complex decisions with clarity, smart pricing insight, and strong negotiation. With an advisory first approach, she helps buyers, sellers, and relocating clients see all their options so they can move forward with confidence. Trusted by referral time and again, Gloria is valued for her steady advocacy and commitment to her clients' best interests. Welcome to the podcast, Gloria.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Kristin.
We are so excited. So share with us your real estate story in your own words. How'd you get here?
So, 2006, I've been in the business for 20 years. Let's just start there. So 2006, I made the huge decision of leaving my job without having a backup plan. And I always wanted to get into real estate, but just didn't know how to. And it just so happened that my classmate at the time worked for an investor. And she was like, well, we're hiring if you want to give us a try and see what happens. So I basically was a secretary for this investor. And within the year, he wanted to make us agents. So he paid for us to get our licenses. And so for like the first 2, 3 years of my business, I was working with an investor, doing punch out lists, going to blighted homes, just trying to get an idea of what we can do to rehab it. And I learned so much during that season. And then from since there, I just kind of like built it out some more because I wanted to get away from the investor a little bit, not like completely close that door, but just kind of open up my clientele a little bit more. So, yeah, 20 years this year. So 2026 from 2006. And it's been quite a journey, the roller coasters, the recession, the adjusting markets each and every year. You just have to learn how to pivot. And I just learned to pivot with every changing market.
Good for you. That is the name of the game.
Right.
Um, Give us kind of the high level arc of your brokerage connections. Like, have you been like with one brokerage all along? Have you switched multiple times? Like, just kind of give us the lay of the land.
So I was with the investor for about like 2 years. And then from then I branched out to another company and I was with them for like 5 years. And then in 2020, 11, I want to say I went with another company, Charles Rutenberg Realty. The other two were like smaller companies, but Charles Rutenberg Realty is a big brokerage here in Tampa Bay, and I was with them until 2019. And then 2019 is when I opened up my brokerage. Yeah, and I've been Savannah Premier Real Estate since then.
That's amazing. Tell us about your team and your production in this last year.
So, the market have shifted, of course. So a lot of our teams have tried to pivot with that as well. We have honestly just having conversation with our clients and figuring out where they are because they are going through major circumstantial changes as well. Whether they're having to relocate to another state, they're looking at foreclosure, they lost their jobs, they don't know what to do. So right now, our production is basically coming from us tapping into our database and having those hard questions with our clients as to what's going on and making sure that they're comfortable with having those conversations. Because sometimes, they're a little embarrassed that, they can't make their mortgage payments and they don't want to let anyone know. And I feel like they basically hide their heads in the sand like ostriches. So it's always like creating that atmosphere and staying in touch with our clients where they can actually tell us what's going on. So we have a lot of sellers right now that just need to move for whatever reason, liquidate, just get up
Hmm.
from under their houses.
For sure. Would you say that most of your business is organically generated? Do you do a lot of like paid advertising? Like give us kind of the rundown of kind of how your what your various lead sources are.
So 80% of our business is referral based. And we basically keep in touch with our clients. So we do 4 touches a year. And I tell my agents, you need to at least do 4 touches a year with your clients. So either calls, notes, we stop by their houses just to say hi, face-to-face lunches. I have one of my agents who love having empowerment events. So like once a year, she has a woman empowerment event that is so powerful, so amazing. And she invite her clients and other people there, but you end up building a relationship with those people. And so our business is trusted referrals and just asking for the referrals and getting more business from our database. Now, we do some marketing, we do some ads, we do get some business from our signs and from the listings that we have. Of course, those, since they're cold, you have to work them a little bit more to build that trust, because they're like here, there, everywhere, and you can't really tie them down. But I know from working with our database, it's just so much easier because you already have that warm connection with that person from someone else. So it just makes our job so much easier that we don't have to overcome that level of that boundary that you usually have when you first meet a client.
So good. I feel like I could just talk to you forever because I think you're gonna have some amazing nuggets. So entering the business in 2006, I should say. Oh my gosh, it's hard not to say 2020, but in 2006, how did you, I mean, you were with the investor, but how did you deal with the recession and the craziness that happened with mortgages? Yeah, just tell us about that challenging time. And then again, experiencing it in 2024, 2025. What did that look like?
So training, usually when times slow down, I re-up on my training. I try to learn as much as I could because that shift is happening. And when that shift is happening, you want to make sure that you're knowledgeable to provide whatever the customers need for that time. So I know back then it was a lot of short sales, understanding how long they take, having the relationships with the attorney, how does the foreclosure process look, how long, like getting everything in order to set expectations for those people. I remember having a lot of great relationships or building relationships with title companies that can handle short sales, building relationships with the HOA, the presidents, the board, because there's so many layers to a foreclosure that if someone stop paying their mortgage, there might be an HOA payment as well. And if you're doing a short sale and you have an approval, your HOA dues are still accruing interest and late fees. And if that approval does not match the number that you originally gave them 4 or 5 months ago, you have to start the process all over again. So I had to learn how to get everyone on the same page to make sure that we can close on time for that seller and alleviate stress. So the same thing with the past 2 years. So we felt the shift in 2023 when the mortgage rates went up. and sales started slowing down and buyers were losing confidence and wasn't sure if they can afford their homes anymore. So we basically decided, okay, let's get back to our training. Where are people going to need help? We're doing a lot of AI now because we realize AI is the next big thing. So how can we incorporate AI into our business to help elevate what we have right now? Like right now, we have homes sitting on the market a little bit longer than the sellers would like. How can we leverage AI to boost our listing past the competition so there's greater exposure? All of that we're using right now as we move along in this new chapter of real estate.
Absolutely. Yeah, we feel that too, and just kind of the ever-present need to just be, like you said, like pivoting, adapting, understanding what's happening in kind of the global environment around us, and how do we position ourselves to not miss out on opportunities while also maintaining that personal touch, because that is what AI cannot replace, is the
Right,
human to human
right.
connection. So I love that. It sounds like the sense I get is that your brokerage really is intentional about focusing on the community, being seen as leaders in the community. How do you tangibly do that? Like, how do you offer what is valuable to your clientele and create spaces where people feel seen and supported, and then also then can come in with your real estate service as well?
Well, I'm so happy you asked that question. So I do events every year. So even before I had Seven Premier Real Estate, I always had a pie pop by, or I would have little small events where I would invite my clients, some of my favorite clients, because you work with these people and sometimes you don't want to let them go. I'd say, I'm keeping you. And so with my I'm keeping you, I have like little events and I invite them over and we just synergize and we keep that going. And it was great because our community partners, our business partners look forward to that, getting their name out there and building brand. And our clients just need to come out and have fun and do something. So it was great. We had hula hoop contests, pie contests. We gave backpacks and laptops to the kids as well. We had a back to school bash incorporated in that. And we've done it for like every year except for last year because I was, expecting it. I did not want to be in the heat, 7 months pregnant.
Yeah, especially down where you are, close to the
Right.
equator.
We had to table that. But in lieu of that, we offered family portraits. So everyone was able to go to a photographer and get portraits taken. We rolled it out for the summer and then we also rolled it out for the fall. So even though we weren't meeting, I was still able to keep the connection with them and still offer them something.
So you do the once a year event and then you do small touches throughout the year. Are there any other events that you do or host?
So we have a pie event that we do every Thanksgiving where they're able to come and pick up a holiday pie. That's
And
been going on for almost 10 years now. My
that's
clients love
amazing.
it.
I
Yeah,
was
they
gonna
love
say
it.
real I was gonna say real quick too, like something I've heard lots of agents do is that they go to people's houses and bring these pies during the holidays, and I'm with you. Like please just come to me and you can pick up the pie during this time because it takes a lot of it out of it and then you're still inviting them. So I love that. Okay, what else? Sorry.
Yeah. So there's that. And I usually mix it up. Sometimes I have a ladies' brunch. I had a ladies' favorite things brunch where each lady brought one of something that they would like, and we did a small gift exchange. And before we did the gift exchange, they explained why that item was their favorite thing. I've also had tea time. I've had tea time with the ladies. I've gone to like little boutiques and just had snacks and just invite people over to a new boutique that was opening. So it changes each and every year depending on what's trending or what seems to be like the next best thing.
I love that. And Cory and I both really resonate with what you're sharing because we both love to do in-person events, big or small. We love to do the pop buys or the, just low key casual gatherings. So that it's really fun for us to, hear you share about those opportunities and plant some ideas for us too, which is awesome. Tell us from kind of a leadership perspective, as someone who, has been in the business a long time, you own your own brokerage. How do you balance the sense of like ambition, but also like alignment, with your mission, vision, values? Like how do you reconcile those things?
So I do have an operations manager that has helped me. And prior to her, I had an assistant that was just assisting. And then in 2023, I was like, she started out as my assistant, but I was like, you're more than assistant at this point. You're my operations manager. You're helping me. I can step aside, you handle and run a lot of things, which has been super duper helpful for me because my personal life has been busy with the kids. Like it's different layers to my life right now. But we also have meetings with the agents. We have meetings with the agents, and then we have outside meetings as well. So sometimes we go golfing, sometimes we have lunch. And when we do it that way, we build trust among the team. We get to dig a little bit deeper and be honest about the challenges that we're having in the market, what challenges we're having within our business, challenges we might be having personally as well. And we always try to focus on 5 different areas of our lives. I always tell my agents, try to be balanced. You don't want to be all work. I was like that at one point in my business where I was just all work. I wasn't taking any vacation, no time for myself. It was just like I was taking calls at 3 a.m. because I had clients in China and it's 3 p.m. on their side of the world. But now I have boundaries and I have to have boundaries because there's more people in my lives that I need to take care of too. But we focus on family, business, financial, spiritual, and personal. So when we're goal setting each and every year, we try to focus on those things so we're well balanced. Where do we want to invest in ourselves personally or business wise or financially? And having that also helps the business because you're connecting with like-minded people as well that know that you're in the business. Focusing on some of your personal goals, which could be the gym or running more, and you're meeting people along the way and you're telling them about your business and the things that you do for real estate. You're actually also building your pipeline and your database that way as well. So that's where the leadership role is. We try to lead, but lead with, I guess, a sense of reality that there's so many different layers of business, and we try to include that into it as well.
So, how do you, let me back up a little bit. As an entrepreneur, I feel like we all are like driven, hardcore driven, want to work hard for our clients and all the things. So, how do you balance that family life and work life? Do you like block off certain days? Do you say you have an appointment and you schedule out? Like, just share with us what you do.
It is a living, breathing process for me. With every child comes with reworking my routine, and I'm on baby number 3 now. So this year now, my time has tapered down to between 9 and 1. That's a very short window. So that's my power hours. That's what I would call it. So in the morning, I try to have time for myself, get the kids off. And then between my power hours or when I make my phone calls, I schedule my lunches or meetings with clients or whomever. And every day is a different focus. So Mondays might be financials, where the books are, what's going on with the business and stuff like that. Tuesdays, my sellers. Wednesdays, my buyers. Thursdays, what's going on operationally that might need my help. And Fridays is like my fun day. So I'm having lunch with somebody, I'm going out for a drink. Stuff like that. And then anything that gets scheduled later, I'm squeezing you in between my chaotic life. And the great thing about it is that my clients have been with me for so long that they give me grace. So if they hear screaming baby in the background, they're like, oh my gosh, is that the baby? I am so happy that they're so accommodating to my life because I was nervous in the beginning, whether or not they'll be okay with that. But oh my gosh, it's been so refreshing just to see the amount of support that I've gotten from my clients and my database. I mean, I've had people tour houses like, okay, I'm just gonna go out and look at new construction or whatever, but I'm not signing anything. You're my realtor. I'm not doing anything without you. And when they're finally ready, they're like, okay, we found the community. We need your help with the house. Take your time. Let us know when you can. And it's just been so amazing with people, my database, my clients, working with my time. Even last year when I was on maternity leave, I tried to get them to go to another agent. They're like, no, we're going to wait for you. Let us know when you're good with your baby and we'll sit down and we'll talk.
I
So,
love that. I
yeah,
love that. Well, that's really a credit to you and how you have nurtured, your relationships to the point where they're loyal to you, even when you have life interruptions and things happening. So, kudos. That's really, really amazing. I
thank you.
wonder, Gloria, given your 2 decades now of experience, it's probably hard, maybe hard to remember what it was like when you were, a newer agent and, getting things going in terms of building your own business. Talk to talk to an agent, in our audience who maybe is at that point where they feel like they just want to give up, they just want to walk away. It's too hard, it's too frustrating, but they still feel this sense of like, I should keep going. Like,
Right.
what would your message be to that person?
So what worked for me was finding a coach, a real estate coach. We all need mentorship at some point. When you're in school, you have teachers. When you're kids, you have your parents. When you're in business, I feel like you still need somebody to help guide you, to be that guiding light. And that was the pivotal moment for me because I did want to get out of the business at the end of 2013. I can't forget it, where I was overworked. I was working, I want to say maybe 60 hours a week, driving here, doing this, going there, and my family was like, "We don't see you. You don't spend time with us." And that hearing those words were like, "Okay, I need to do something." Plus, I'm tired. It was rewarding, of course, but the who I am was not going to last in this business if I kept going the way I was going. And so I interviewed a couple top producers in the business. So start there, interview some top producers, pick their brain. What are you doing? What works for you? And see if that aligns with you because sometimes what works for them may not work for you. And so when I did that, one of them told me I have a coach. And I was like, what does that mean? We have a coach. And then I did my research. So just have a coach, have some motivation in the business, definitely interview some top producers, see what works well for them and see what you align with. Because in real estate, there's several different avenues you can take. And there's not one way to make money in real estate. So you just have to
Hmm.
figure out what works for you, what speaks
Hmm.
to your heart, and just kind of be consistent with that. And once you commit to something, be consistent. Consistency builds trust.
I love
Trust
it.
builds your database and your pipeline and your dollars.
It's so good. It's like a common refrain in our kind of ecosystem that Cory and I work in is just like, it's your business. You figure out how you're going to build it and grow it. But the principle of like, just be consistent. So if you like to do events, do them consistently. If you like to cold call, do it consistently. There's no right or wrong, but whatever you're going to do, be consistent with it. And I think that we've learned a lot, from our own inconsistency along the way. So that's such a great reminder.
Well, Gloria, it's been so amazing to talk to you. And as we wrap up, what are some parting words that you'd like to say to our listeners?
Well, first off, thank you both for having me on here. And I want to say to our listeners, if you're thinking about real estate, give it a shot. Don't be afraid of don't be afraid of it. You know, it's one of the areas that I found freedom in. I found it to be very rewarding. Even with the shifting of the markets, I'm like wondering, do I need to pick up something on the side? Just in case, things get slower or, and I was just like, no, I like what I'm doing. So I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to lean into the people that have trusted me for so many years. So if you want to do it, you have to lean into it. Lean into your motivation, lean into the people around you, and just do it.
I love it. That's a great parting message. Thank you so much for your time. And yeah, this has been really rewarding for Cory and myself. And I've already got some things that I'm taking away from our conversation. So thank you. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Momentum in Real Estate. We hope you found valuable insights and strategies to propel your real estate journey forward.
If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and leave us a review. Your feedback helps us continue to deliver content that resonates with you. Remember, success in real estate is about continuous learning, growth, and serving others. Keep that momentum going and watch your business thrive.
Until next time, keep pushing forward and bringing your real estate dreams to life.
This is Cory Wall
and Kristin James signing off from Momentum in Real Estate.